Hey, my name's Daniel. I recently quit my job and I made a whole video about what my plan of action will be. One of those things is signing up for Uber. So this is my experience getting started. Let's see how it goes. Alright, so here I am signing up for Uber. Two caveats. I wanted to sign up for Lyft as well, but I meet all the vehicle requirements, but when you go down to driver requirements, you have to be 25 or older. So that's basically barred me for applying, at least not yet. But I want to get started with Uber. I meet all the requirements there. They just require you to have a relatively new car and you have a little bit of driving experience. Other than that, most people should be able to qualify for Uber, so let's try and get started. Alright, so I had to skip over some of the application because there was a lot of personal details, but here we are, just entering information about my car. Alright, and I really suggest getting a referral link. I had to dig deep into, I think, a rideshare guy's blog to get mine, but from what I've heard, the most profitable you'll be with Uber is when you get guaranteed earnings for a certain amount of rides. So for me, for Austin, at this time period, I've gotten a pretty small earning of $1,400 for 140 rides. I've seen bigger codes for different cities, and usually they have you do more rides to get the guaranteed earnings. But whatever guaranteed earnings you can get is not bad, and it's usually over. It's usually more than what make without this code. So if I get a referral code, I'll share that with you in the description of this video. So the last step they're having me do, it looks like, is upload all my insurance and vehicle information. I'll do that and get back to you with what they asked me to do next. So I finished applying to Uber and I've actually taken a few rides since then, and I've also researched a ton. Here's what I've learned and what I think every new driver should know. First off, once I was approved, it was really quick to start earning money, but that's not without its costs. I drove 2 hours on my first day and earned more than $40 thanks to the guarantee. It's not great, but since then I found there's ways to outplay Uber's algorithm. So Uber, as a new driver, they're probably going to want to spam you with a bunch of unprofitable rides that take a long time, but there's really no consequence to not accepting these. So if you have a referral code, which you could just look up, or I'll post mine in the description, you should have guaranteed earnings for your rides. For me, it averages out to $10.50 for each ride, no matter what. My strategy is to take the rides that go the least distance and take the least time, at least for now, while I'm guaranteed to earn $10.50 per ride no matter what. Once this guarantee ends, that strategy changes completely, and you want to look at the rides, make sure it's profitable just based on the ride itself. Don't get suckered into taking low value rides anymore. In most markets now, you'll see upfront pricing. That just means that that's almost guaranteed that you're going to be paid. You can't really argue for a higher pay if things change. So make sure you're okay with what you actually see. Calculate how much that would mean you're earning per hour, per mile, and be really cognizant of what your goal is. That brings me to my second point. Make sure you're tracking your expenses in miles. There's two ways to do business deductions for rideshare drivers. We're technically independent contractors, so when tax time comes, we get a sheet with all our earnings and we're supposed to deduct based on our own expenses. One way to do that is keep track of every expense related to your car maintenance and operation, gas, insurance, car washes. All that is bundled up and you can itemize all of those deductions. But by far the more simple way is to deduct based on mileage. And so for 2024, that rate will probably increase at the beginning of the year, so keep a lookout for that. But for taxes coming up early this next year, make sure you just track your miles, and each mile you drive, you're able to get a 65.5-cent deduction on your taxes. So you could use pen and paper and look at your odometer when you start and end driving for Uber every day, but that's really antiquated, and there's so many apps to use. I'm not sure if these make suggestions. I use an app similar to Stride. It's called Gridwise, and you basically turn it on and off at the start and end of your shift, and it gives you extremely good record keeping of your miles, and all you need to do is just import that for your taxes at the end. So make sure you're taking advantage of either the expenses or what I'm doing, the mileage deduction. This will save you, if you drive for any significant amount of time, hundreds of thousands of dollars when tax time comes. I'll keep you updated on what it's like to finish out this guarantee and if Uber is still worth it or not. I've seen a lot of stories of how badly Uber keeps decreasing wages and really paying drivers poorly, so I'll keep you updated on if there's any profitability to that, but at least this guaranteed earnings period is a little bit profitable, so I'll try and finish that out. But as always, I'm working on other stuff while doing this. I would never, if I can help it, consider this to be my full-time income. So make sure you have a plan B, because things just seem to keep getting worse and worse for everyone in the gig economy. Even a minimum wage job might be a better option for people as a real full-time job, and I really think even at this point I'd only recommend it for people as a side hustle, and maybe even only for that new driver promotion. We'll see how it goes, but I'll keep you updated. See you all next time. Peace.